The list of factors in a product's success are long, but beneath the surface, there are certain outliers that have proven themselves to hold more weight and momentum than others. This is why Tesla is future fluent. Technology is rooted in my identity. Design is my passion and profession. I say this because I believe Elon and Tesla understand interfaces, and they understand them better than almost anyone. Not just the graphical and physical, but the human and emotional. They reverse engineer the end user and provide a world-class experience unlike anything else available today. When viewed through this lens, the current and future success of this company become obvious and potentially enormous. Tesla's emotional touchpoint is its roadmap. Often cited by critics as proof of the company's inability to produce on promises, what these critics fail to understand is the roadmap itself is a pseudo-product that communicates a vision to the public. It sells us a dream, and Tesla's dream is rather ambitious. The reason Tesla's roadmap is so notorious is because the destination of that map is more exciting to the public than any other consumer-facing company in action today. The promise of fully autonomous, clean, and intelligent transportation. A company's roadmap serves as a delivery mechanism for anticipation. Anticipation drives demand, and demand drives success. Being ambitious is in this company's DNA and is an intentional differentiator from its so-called competition.
There is still, in 2019, no car that can compete with the Model S of 2012.
If there is an objective juxtaposition of Tesla and its competitors, I haven't seen it. Not because the comparison hasn't been made, but because there aren't any competitors to speak of.
It's 7 years later. Still waiting.
Tesla and traditional cars are in competition the way the Motorola Razr and the Apple iPhone were in competition. They were generally thought of as the same product at the time and served the same general purpose, but one provided a much more desirable and meaningful experience that was poised to improve over time, while the other did not. The notion that Audi, Porsche, or any other traditional manufacturer is somehow going to catch up to a company that has a 10-year head start is dubious. Manufacturing a car is nothing like manufacturing an EV. Any fool can see that for every one e-tron in the wild, there are at least 100 Teslas, if not more. The only real competition in terms of product are smaller, lesser-known brands like Rivian. They have taken a ground-up approach and have the engineers and foresight. However, they do not have anything near the brand recognition that Tesla does. Why is that? Elon Musk has been labeled many things, but one thing he rarely gets credit for is understanding people. He seems to understand how he is perceived by others, and he seems to understand how people perceive themselves. With this in mind, he makes his decisions based on his honest interpretation of what is important at any given moment. When invited on the Joe Rogan podcast, a moment that will go down in CEO history, he very obviously understood the audience he was speaking to.
No.
Okay.
It's marijuana
it's
inside
weed.
of tobacco.
Oh, okay. So it's like pot tobacco posh.
You never had that?
Yeah, I think I tried one once.
Come on, man. You want some of that? You probably can't because of stockholders, right?
While viewed as reckless by Wall Street analysts, it's my view that Elon understood making a connection with that audience was more important to the brand than the perception of being considered a respectable CEO. It would be hard to calculate the value he garnered from that interview in terms of brand exposure. And every time Elon's name or Tesla as a company is invoked on that air, Joe Rogan goes off on how much he loves his Model S.
It's a fucking spaceship. It's the weirdest thing I've ever driven in my life. It doesn't even make sense. It's not even, there's not a single car that I've ever driven that's even close to as fast. Nothing. Like, my Porsche is so slow. I have a GT3 RS. It has 518 horsepower. It weighs 3,000 pounds. It sounds like a dragon. And that Tesla would leave it in the dust. I mean, leave it in the dust.
Elon is the reason Tesla has never spent $1 on traditional advertising, and probably will never have to. Science can amuse and fascinate us all, but it's engineering that changes the world. Through a deep appreciation of the customer experience, Elon has been able to cultivate the most attractive environment for engineers. In a 2019 study done by Universum, 53,000 students from 200 universities concluded that SpaceX and Tesla were the most desirable engineering jobs to land post-college, ahead of Google and NASA. Ford, the next car company to make an appearance on this list, comes in at 16. They have created an environment that allows the people who are actually building the product to make decisions, be creative, and be responsible for the end user. This reality has gifted Tesla not only a material production lead, but an immense software delta. Tesla has correctly assessed that the probability of success will directly correlate with the software and hardware quality that controls their vehicles, and have put all resources into fostering that truth. With the talent gap growing, the technological gap will grow as well. All intelligent data suggests EVs will dominate the roadway in the centuries to come. And in all metrics that will determine that success, both fundamental and intangible, Tesla leads the way by a decade. Battery technology, compute and power efficiency, software understanding of the real world, material production and logistics, brand awareness, user interface, recharging and support infrastructure.
Not impossible, perhaps, but extremely difficult to catch up when Tesla has 100 times more miles per day than everyone else combined.
There is no real-world channel that Tesla is not a leader because it is the only true operator, and that's why Tesla is future fluent.